Hi everyone. Hey, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing fine here, and I do think that we have a dandy for you. We have a good program for you today. So just sit tight, take a little bit of popcorn, and just enjoy the show. It's going to be a hot one. You can see the title right now. I'm not trying to provoke anyone because the only thing that I'm saying, unlike some people from the UFC, I'm not going to mention any name, Dana White, uh, that are liars, right? The only thing that we're stating here is the truth, right? So the subject is the following. We're going to talk about that Chicken Jones, that champion that the UFC is claiming is a champion actually, but who is just, to my eyes, a common criminal. And that's what he is because that's what his records show. But that's a champion made in UFC. That's the champion the UFC is giving you, the one that is the poster boy of the UFC since he's the heavyweight champion of the UFC. To not mistake from the baddest man on the planet that is currently has been signed with the PFL. So obviously he's Dana White approved, that common criminal, as the UFC knows exactly about his past, about his criminal past. So we're going to move on and let's kick the show started. By the way, before I start the show, please do me a favor, click on that subscribe button, and for sure in advance click on the like button because you're going to love it. But I don't think everybody is going to like it, but you guys are going to like it. So let's try to see what's going on with this guy that all of a sudden everybody is saying that, oh man, that's the model, that's the guy that we have to follow, that's the grail, that's the goat of the champion of the UFC, pound for pound best, the goat of the UFC, the goat of the heavyweight. First of all I just want to get something straight, guys. When we're talking about goat here, we have to take it easy. We have to breathe, sit down, and take it easy. The only thing that Jon Jones is the GOAT, and Chicken Jones, sorry, Chicken, I'm sorry, I'm messing up his name. Chicken Jones is a GOAT of, is the light heavyweight division. That's all he's a GOAT of. Like, he's been owning the heavyweight division, going through and through, agreed, 120%, 200%, right? He might be the pound for pound best fighter. No worries about that. But to say that he's the GOAT of the heavyweight division, please, we're not stupid. We know what's going on. We know MMA. We know the fighting games and all that. And because if you're saying that, right, because he's the GOAT as his division or pound for pound, so is Floyd Mayweather, because he's like example of pound for pound, he's going to be to go on the heavyweight and beat the heavyweight champion. That's ridiculous. That's totally stupid. When DJ was considered like the pound for pound best, would have been he been able to beat a guy like Chicken Jones? I don't think so, right? So to say that because John Jones has been owning the light heavyweight division, that now he also is the heavyweight, and that's a big stretch, bro. That's a very big stretch. I mean, people are trying too hard, very hard. So now this champion, this paper champion, is receiving all these praises from former foes like Daniel Cormier, who used to call him a bum, a drag addict, right? He's receiving all these praise from these guys. He's receiving all these praise from family men like Daniel Cormier, from family men like who that will Chael Sonnen that we've seen in the video, and now he's putting his family. He's got two beautiful kids, most likely a beautiful wife. The same thing for Michael Bisping, who often shows his family on TV. I mean, how can they? And right now, these guys are raising that common criminal, and he's not going there for any type of crime. I mean, this is solid what he did, right? Especially in regard to domestic violence or abuse against women, right? That's totally crazy. And these guys right now are praising him and supporting this guy. That's unbelievable. That's unheard of. But I guess that's how the UFC, and that's what the UFC represents, right? And don't forget, he's the heavyweight champion of the UFC and the poster boy of the UFC. So I guess he's the one that carries the brand, right? And yeah, That's that. So just think about that a little bit. So let's go now and see like maybe the little track record of our super champion, right? Because he's the man that we're going to present to the families, that we're going to see, okay, that's the champion, to the little kid. Follow his example. That's a good man, right? So let's look into 2015 what this good man did. That super Chicken Jones champion. What did he do? What did he do? Arrested for his involvement in a hit and run that saw him leave the scene after crashing into a car driven by a pregnant woman. So that little cowards that we see here, that little weasel that we see here, actually fled the scene after crashing into a car driven by a pregnant woman, right? He fled, he just left, right? Didn't go there and assist the lady and try to see if maybe there was something wrong, maybe she was in danger or stuff like that. He just fled. That's a UFC champion for you. Dana White Sharq approved, most definitely, right? That's the type of champion that the UFC wants them to represent, right? That's the type of champion that the UFC represent. That he represents the brand of the UFC, a common criminal that fled the scene, right? And now this guy saying that he's really willing to fight Francis Ngannou, that he wants to fight Francis Ngannou, that he wants to fight Fury, when he's not even able to find the courage after crashing into the car driven by this pregnant woman and assisting her. Come on now, let's be serious. Let's move ahead. And that's the guy that, by the way, the Daniel Cormier, the Chael Sonnen, and the Michael Bisping are rooting for, right? A real family man, right? A real family man. And these guys are real family men. Dana White approved. He's the boss of the company, and he's rooting for this guy. He's supporting this guy. Like, hey guys, this is our champion, right? This is a champion. He drove into the car of a pregnant woman. That's what we want you all to do, guys. Follow his example, kids. Yeah, beautiful, right? 2019, charged for allegedly slapping, choking, kissing a waitress at a street club. Right, because strippers are trash now? That they don't deserve any respect, right? Is that what we're saying? Because he didn't only like kiss her by force. No, he didn't kiss her by force. He had to slap her, meaning he had to hit her, right? And not only that, he had to choke her, right? And that's a champion for you, right? That's a UFC champion for you. That's the guy that you say has the balls to go fight against a guy like Francis Ngannou. And that's the kind of guy that Francis Ngannou would be scared of. Hey, by the way, that's the type of guy that Francis Ngannou beat up. That's the type of guy that he beats up. As simple as that. And you think that this guy is going to find the courage to go fight a Fury? But by the way, why actually would a Tyson Fury dirty his hands, and actually even Ngannou dirty his hand to put on a common criminal like that who has no shame in beating people that cannot defend himself, right? Why would they do that? They're gonna dirty themselves, right? What's going on? Charged for allegedly slapping, choking, kissing a waitress at a street club. That's totally insane. And again, that's the type of champion that the Chael Sonnen, right? I saw his kids on TV, his wife on TV, because he's putting them on the public eye, right? So I believe like the whole little family must be proud of that. I mean, they must be having dinner with JON JONES, Chicken Jones, every night, every afternoon, right? Let's go have a little drink. Let's go have a little chit chat. Come with the family. I met you meet the kids, right? The same thing with the Bisping. I'm pretty sure their family love this type of story, love this type of activity. Let's be real. That's a champion for you. That's your UFC champion. That's your poster boy, the guy that represents your brand. A criminal, a guy that crashed into the car of a pregnant woman, didn't give her assistance, that went into a strip club, slapped, choked, kissed a waitress, right, by force, right? And today, like back in the day, and what happened again? Charged with misdemeanor battery, domestic violence, and injuring or tampering with vehicle. Come on, guys. I think that that's not enough. I mean, if that's not enough, that's a champion for you guys. That's your UFC approved champion for you, and is that the guy that represents the brand? Is that really the guy that Brendan Schaub is rooting for, right? Huh? Because that's what he say, right? I'm a Jon Jones Dick Rider. I'm a Jon Jones Dick Rider. Oh, come on, criminal. That's the face of the UFC, people. That's your champion of the UFC. That's the type of guy that is going to take your industry into mainstream. Are we serious? That's the type of champion that is going to take your industry into mainstream. A guy that left the scene of a car crash involving a pregnant woman without even giving her any assistance. That's your mainstream UFC champion for you. The guy who is charged for slapping, choking, kissing a waitress. That's your UFC champion for you. This misdemeanor, battery, domestic violence. That's your UFC champion. Are you joking me? I mean, it's a joke. It's got to be a joke. When I hear the Daniel Cormier that used to call him a bum, now riding his dicky. That's unbelievable. That's unheard of, right? I'm losing my mind here, right? So, it's not even finished. Let's keep going, because I think that there's a little bit more here to show, right? A little bit more to hear that meets the eye, right? So let's go, let's go see, because guys, I'm telling you, it's not over. So let's go. That's your UFC champion, the guy who says that he's going to go and beat up Fury. He's going to go, and right now Fury is scared of him. That's what they say. He's saying that he's going to go, and he's trolling now. Francis Ngannou, people are saying Francis Ngannou is scared of him because Jon Jones is the next best thing. By the way, he's the champion of the UFC, the face of the UFC, a criminal. That's not a champion for me. He's a criminal. That's not the type of guy that I would tell my kids, oh, look at him. That's his example that I want you to follow. That he's inspiring. His story is inspiring and all that stuff. That's bullshit. That's a paper champion. For me, that's cowardly what he did. Slapping a woman, choking her, leaving the scene of a car crash involving a pregnant woman, no assistance whatsoever, domestic violence. Nah, sorry. I'm not calling that a champion. I call that a coward. In most of the cases, if money wasn't involved, he would be currently in jail serving a hard sentence, hard time, to be honest with you, right? So what's happening here? We're starting again with the misdemeanor that we talked earlier, violence, right? Domestic violence and injuring or tampering with a vehicle, right? Now, 2020, March 2020, what happened? What happened in March 2020, my brother? Mr. the Super Champion, the GOAT, by the way, of just the light heavyweight. Forget about the heavyweight. Mr. the pound for pound champion of the UFC, arrested for alleged aggravated DUI and negligence to use of a firearm when he was chasing that guy. Seems like with man. I mean, this guy is something. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I'm reading this and it's a joke. It's gotta be a joke somewhere to have this guy as a champion of a let's say the biggest MMA promotion in the world. I mean, it's gotta be a joke. I can't believe that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna wake up at one point. I need to wake up at one point. So let's go to February 2018. He's got his license revoked, right? For what? For what? He revoked license upheld after failed drug test, right? Boom! Oh man! And we're calling that a champion. The guy's like failing the drug test, and not only one time, right? Suspended for failed drug test again in 2016. Again in 2016. Let's be serious. That's your champion for you, right? That's the guy that represents your brand, the UFC brand. Awesome. A freaking drug addict, right? Okay, not only is a criminal, he's leaving the scene after a car crash involving pregnant woman, no assistance whatsoever. hitting, beating, choking, whatever, kissing a stripper. Boom. No, that's it. But it keeps going on. Failed drug test twice, not only once, twice. Felony hit and run charge. That's the way. I guess he must be involved during that the car crash with the. I hope that's what it is. I hope that's what it is. I didn't check the date because this is something else. I mean, the guys from wall to wall, is a beautiful specimen for the UFC, right? And for Dana the White Shark, right? And in 2014, whoa, guys, like hold on to your pants because your jaw is going to drop. How did that hold? Hold on to your pants because your jaw is going to drop. I don't think that's that's so amazing. Tested positive for cocaine. I mean, guys, when you can't stop laughing, you just gotta keep laughing, right? Because you don't want to be crying. This guy is something else. And that's the guy with his little girlfriend, Maurice Green, that is right now trashing Francis Ngannou, that is now running and trying to get a fight with Fury. But come on, guys, what do you want the guys to take him seriously? A common criminal, right? And a drug addict tested positive for cocaine. I mean, this is totally insane, guys. So listen to me. Let's be serious here. The UFC is in a situation where I don't know, they've been shook up at their roots, right? And right now they're trying to react in a way that is totally unheard of. They're starting to make mistakes like crazy, right? Just because they don't want to lose face, right? Just because they want to show that right now they have a heavyweight champion that is bad or badder than the UFC champion, that the baddest man on the planet, that the real baddest man on the planet, and the real people champion that is right now signed with the UFC. Come on, guys! Now, come on, guys! Let's be serious. Here's your champion. Here's his track record that you have right in front of you here, right? So I'm telling you, just look at that. Just look at your super champion, UFC approved, obviously, right, by Dana White Shark White, right? And here he is in all his glory. The guy that everybody praises. Yay! Hail the new champion of the UFC. Hail the criminal. Hail DUI. Hail domestic violence. Because that's what we do, right? We don't do champion that love kids. We don't do champion that promote like non-violence. That give inspiration. That have inspirational story. No, that's not what we do. What we do is domestic violence. Yeah, that's what the UFC supports. Domestic violence. That's what we do. Yes, slapping, kissing, choking strippers, the women. That's what we do, right? Come on, guys, leaving the scene of a car crash involving a pregnant woman. That's what we do, right? That's what you guys do, right? Yeah. Come on, boys. Do you see like how ridiculous this is? Do you really see how ridiculous this is? And that's what, and now these little followers of the UFC, the little cheerleaders there, the little no-brain followers of the UFC, oh, we love Dana White, oh, we love Jon Jones, oh, we love. That's what you love. That's what you love, a criminal for you. That's a champion for you. That's the champion of the UFC. That's the crowd of the UFC. That's what the UFC represents. That's the poster boy of the UFC. That's the guy who's carrying your brand. That's what it is. That's what it is. I understand why now you're upset, right? When you see a guy with the story, with the kind of story, inspiring story of Francis Ngannou leave the UFC. What? You upset now? Because the guy, his story is inspirational, that he's always breaking new ground? Yeah, forget it. That's your champion here. Look at him in all his glory. Hey, Daniel Cormier. Hey, Chael Sonnen. Hey, why don't you show this guy to your family, and show this guy to your family, and tell your family that, yeah, that's the guy, that's the champion, that's how I want my kids to grow up. That's the guy I want them to look up to, right? I want them to follow his example. Look at him. He looks beautiful in orange. Huh? How does he look now? Huh? Look at this. Oh, beautiful. Guys, Bisping, tell your kid, look at him. That's what I want you guys to look for, to look to. Huh? Doesn't he look great, right? That's your champion for you. How dare you? How dare you compare this guy to Francis Ngannou? And how dare him actually even speak their name in his mouth? All that he's been doing has been cowardly. Going up the street, trying to play tough, playing tough. Yeah, he's a tough guy. But at the end of the day, he's just a Chicken Jones. He's just Chicken Jones. He's just a boneless Jones individual, right? That unfortunately he's representing. He's the face of the UFC, and backed up and encouraged and adulate by those Daniel Cormier, adulate and backed up by Chael Sonnen, approved by Chael Sonnen, by guys like Brandon Sharp, guys like Michael Bisping. Incredible guys. But hey, that's your UFC champion for you guys. If that's the case, you know what? Keep him. Keep him. We don't want him. Keep him. You know what? Keep him. If that's what the UFC represent, keep him. Alright? So that's all I had to say for today. Think about it. Here's your champion. Maybe they should change their maybe they should be how do you say that, because they don't want to do branding in the cage. Maybe they should do some branding in the cage in orange with the prisoner suits. What about that, right? What do you say about that, right? Keep your champion. I think it fits better with the UFC actually. When you hear the lies that are coming from the UFC president, wow, the UFC president that is currently bringing this brand down, that Dana White, White Shark White. So here we go. Take it easy, guys, and meet you for another video. Bye, guys.